I am Velocious. I've made some Attack on Titan videos, which is like probably average your videos. I'm still very new to YouTube. I'm getting there. I'm trying to get better. I am part of the Discord server called the Plot Chats. Our purpose is to basically analyze a story from non-biased perspective. We do not care about Akatsuki no Requiem or any shipping or anything like it. We just basically analyze the quality of the story. And here we have a video called The Brilliance of Eren Jaeger. And we're gonna react to it and see if there's anything like that shows, the quality of Eren's character, or like maybe the ending as like being worthy to be called good ending, because most of us here do not think that the ending is good. The whole thing, the art is subjective at the end of the day. If we, so you're free to disagree with our opinions, but that's it. We're coming from the friendly place. We don't mean any harm. We're just gonna react to it and say what we think, basically.
One of the best protagonists the medium has to offer.
Ooh, that's very bold claim.
Very bold.
Sorry. It's fine to say such a thing, but I feel like to say it's one of the best protagonists in manga medium, that's very, very bold claim. And
if you're gonna say he's the one of the best, you need to watch more
better
stuff.
protagonists than
Yeah, you
Eren,
kinda
like,
have to read a lot of manga to know that, and not just say because you like the ending or something like that. Like, which is
better
fan.
examples of a protagonist. Like Asta.
I can't show the video.
His four main goals and motives. The Titans of the Rumbling also enclose him, acting as the wall.
Sorry, yeah, go on.
Alright, so he says that it's ignorance. So I think I have to challenge this premise. So when Eren attacked Marley in chapter 100, he already accepted himself that he was a demon, right? So
Yeah,
he killed innocents and he killed the military officials. So he had the justification there. Some might argue, but he would still have that justification in chapter 131, correct? So he's very deontological, which means he judges the action based on its morality rather than its consequence. So he already accepted that he would have to kill people, and thus he accepted himself. So he's not really being ignorant, he's just accepting the freedom that he has finally accomplished. It's his core showing without any of the definitions or definers of who he is.
To be honest, I always interpreted Eren's freedom in early manga as his desire to just basically get out of like this. I don't know how to even put this into words.
I think Eren's freedom was always like he wanted to just experience whatever was beyond the walls, like unencumbered.
Yeah, like he wanted to experience it, but I felt like he was disgusted by the way people lived their lives. Like he didn't want anything. Like, I don't think that he wanted just to feel free. I feel like he genuinely was concerned that people never wanted anything else in their life, just to live the exact same sort of like repetitive routine, I feel like he disliked that. And he was fighting that.
I think my issue with Shash's argument here is that, like, I don't think the specific sites in Armin's book actually mattered that much to Eren. Like, I think he said something in RTS.
I mean, most of these things are... Yeah,
like whatever's on the walls, it does. As long as he can see whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like, it could be anything.
Yeah, I mean, those things... That's why I kind of criticize Simon myself, is because he leaves a lot of things up to interpretation, and basically you have to stick by your own interpretation, because the story doesn't always provide enough, how do you put this, enough evidence for you to support one or two sides, because it could be anything. And I don't know, I don't know if I can call Eren's freedom abstract, but to me it always felt abstract, because to me it felt like he was just childish guy, not necessarily in his idea of what freedom is.
You kind of see that in 123 as well, when I think Eren, wherever he was, he'd always just kind of find some restriction in life. Like, I don't think he could ever truly be satisfied.
Like, even Yasama himself basically described Eren as, like, the slave to the story. Like, he was always, like, the guy that chains. Like, he was, like, in those fucking chains, Like, trying to basically fight. And, it's very unclear what he was fighting for. Like, we always had, like, this sort of idea of freedom, or, like, basically helping people of the paradise. But it was never exclusively stated what it really is to him on a personal level. It was always just something that the audience had to assume. basically. So, I don't know, like, you can always have your own interpretations around this, so I can't say that he's necessarily wrong, but I feel like he's ignoring sort of like the selfish side of Eren, which is like, you know, just basically letting people know, like, yo guys, there's such a thing called freedom, and you should try to experience it, which was part of Eren's character and like trust arc, basically. And I feel like this part of him isn't really explored, at least for now. So I don't know if you agree or disagree with me, but that's my interpretation. I guess I can continue unless anyone else has anything to say.
I just want to say I agree.
I just have a question. How can you say he's ignoring? How can you say that Sash is ignoring her in selfish side?
Because to me, I feel like he was mainly touching upon stuff like abstract idea of freedom and not necessarily his character, at least for now. I mean, the video is only 4 minutes on, so, you know, he can touch this a bit more.
He rebukes Zeke's plan as he just can't accept an end like that. He skirts questions.
Wait, can I interject?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
He literally has a whole speech that he broadcasts to the entire world explaining his reasoning, so it's...
Yeah.
To say that he never had proper motivations or explanations is not really...
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he even call Zeke's plan messed up, and I'm not gonna do that?
Yeah, he did.
He basically said that, like, it's basically he disagrees with his idea of euthanasia, that's it.
So like he believes he has an inherent value just because he was born into this world. He has a right to live. That's not very vague at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
And earlier when he was quoting Eren's like, it's to save Eldia, but it's more than that. Like, the problem is...
What these kinds of videos tell us is that Eren never really cared about Paradise at all, which is just wrong.
Like, he says it's to save Eldia, but he doesn't care about Eldia in the end at all. That's the...
Didn't he have an inner monologue in chapter 131 where he just couldn't explain why he had to protect Eldia? He just had to do it. It didn't have to do with his right to be born to this world, his right to live, and he extended that same kindness to Paradise.
Yeah, and he also didn't want future generations to be, you know, burdened by war or something, which is why he rejects the 50-year plan and he just goes for the full run.
Yeah, like, he had reasons to reject better options. Okay, it's debatable 50-year plan or Zeke's plan is better options. You know, I don't want to go through that hell and, like, you know, debate, but let's just assume that 50-year plan or Zeke's plan is better. But why did Eren reject it if he had no reason to reject it? Doesn't that make doesn't make sense? He obviously had reasons to reject those plans.
Bro, you didn't read the story, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, guys, come on. Let's not do that shit. Like, no.
I mean, his end.
I guess I was a little talk.
It's not that toxic, but you know, it's like getting a bit. How do you put this? Very like quoting something that we shouldn't.
Oh yeah, being a bit of a dick. Yeah, sorry.
You're being antagonistic. Yes, that's the better word.
Yeah, don't do that. Come on.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on, like, we disagree. We basically said that, yeah, Eren had reasons to disagree, and there's not. It's not like he didn't understand something.
I think the problem is...
This makes it look like he was just no idea
he knew what was going on.
Trying to boil it down to just an abstract feeling is doing a disservice to his logic and all the reasons he's actually given in the story.
Yeah, Eren did absolutely have other reasons for like doing the rumbling, but I think his main one was like freedom. That was the driving force, really.
For me, his ability to move freely without restrictions. I think that's as simple as it can get.
Oh yeah. Like if we go to like a very simple way of looking at Eren's characters, he didn't want to be restricted. That's very obvious. Like you can look at the Mari arc, the way he was like speaking to Reiner. You know, his movements, the way he was speaking, like it was flowing like a free guy. Exactly.
That's kind of the great.
It's
that's
like
a really interesting thing about Eren's freedom.
No, I'm saying that's looking at it very oversimplified way.
Yeah. Like, it isn't that it's totally abstract, but it's like, it starts off with this really simple idea. Just, I want to see what's beyond the wall, want to live, like, without any restrictions. And then, like, after the basement reveal, it's like, that, like, innocent idea of freedom just becomes, like, this hellish thing. Because, like, Eren's ideal of freedom doesn't include humanity as it is. And, like, to get that freedom, he has to, like, commit omnicide.
Yep. Okay, I guess we have said what we have. Oh,
we can
go
continue.
on. Yeah, we can continue, I guess, because I think we said, like... I'm sure there's gonna be more to say later on.
Finally, when Zeke asks in 35 by her freeing the three pigs with her eyes actually open, the three pigs working as foreshadowing for the eventual realization that it was her three children that she loved.
What?
Can we just pause?
No.
Yeah,
no,
like,
no,
no.
This is terrible.
This is totally an interpretation. At least he admits that this was just interpretation. So thank you, I guess.
Like the Ymir loved her daughters all along instead of Fritz is very.
Because it's 3 fucking
He
pigs.
pulled that out of that.
It's the number 3, so it has to be.
There's a lot more interpretations like this later on in the video, by the way. So look forward to that, or like about like symbolism.
I mean, I'm fine with interpretations, but the thing is, there's such a rule in literature that you shouldn't use symbolism as the means to explore the story's build up, I guess, you know? The symbolism is there to imply something.
There are a lot of
Plus, a
stories
child
like
being like pigs is honestly kind of like rude, I guess. Like,
I think
a
that
child's being represented by literal pigs. That's kind of like
Like what?
a little cringe.
Like the meaning of that.
I mean, I can see that. Like, I can see the children being pigs. Let me explain. It's like, because the thing is, like, when Ymir gave birth... No, like, let me explain. When Ymir gave birth to the children, they're basically enslaved to the Titan curse. So I guess they're no different from cattle. It's not necessarily pigs, it's just the idea that they're cattle. I guess that's what he could mean, but I just disagree with that. I feel like that's definitely not an intentional thing from Isayama.
Yeah,
but in the end, he doesn't really free her kids like she freed the pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ymir, when she's like holding her first baby in 122, her eyes are still dark as well. Like they're still kind of glazed over.
I mean, I don't really understand this one thing about Ymir loving children. This could be me like forgetting some story because I need to sometimes read this manga, but after reading, I don't feel like reading this manga, and I'm not sure if I ever gonna do that. But
I think the thing with Ymir's kids is that like.
But the thing is, wasn't Ymir basically raped?
Yeah.
The children exist. Like I understand that she can love it because it's her own flesh and body. You know, I can understand that, but like. The children were forced upon her, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like she should feel at the very least conflicted about her children, not necessarily just oh yeah I love them. Like I guess she could, but like the thing is like
I think the kids in like 139 is that like the whole bit with her and Nikas at the end. Like I think it's supposed to be she thinks she should have maybe valued them more. Like she should have chosen them over shit in the end, rather than like they were her motivation all along, which is just him shash pulling out his
Yeah, I can agree with that as well.
But it's the easiest
before we move on to the next motivation, can we just acknowledge that he never actually reached freedom in any way, so it was all just completely meaningless?
I do share that opinion. I don't know about the others, but I do share that. I feel like the way he achieved things doesn't really prove, it doesn't like show consequences of his actions that they had meaning.
Yes, no.
I think, I mean there's probably like an interpretation to be made that like Eren is giving up on his dream of freedom for his friends or something, but then that falls apart when you realize that like the only thing he accomplishes in the end is like his friends' long lives. He accomplishes nothing else. Doesn't end it like Holochan survives, Parody gets bombed. Like in the end, you can't help but wonder if him pursuing his selfish idea of freedom would have been better in the end.
Yeah, but why even start the rumbling if you're not gonna achieve any freedom at all? Like what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, he already knows the outcome.
Yeah, like I understand that Shash seems to be the guy that like he likes his themes, you know, the theme expression and all that stuff.
He lets himself lose, so...
But the thing is, Attack on Titan is a plot-driven story.
And I mean, he saw himself being stopped, so he let himself being stopped because he wanted to be stopped. It's kind of like the...
But he also wanted to rumble. It's like... So what did he actually
but he let
want?
himself be stopped. That's like a fact. So
Like the thing
I
about
guess he just saw it in
him
his
being that
future
stopped
memories.
is that
Like
he also
at
didn't.
first he was. At first, I think he wanted to destroy the entire world, but then he saw his future memories that like his friends would stop him or whatever, and then he just gives up or something. Like I don't know, maybe it's something
Like a compromise,
just-
I guess.
You could like headcanon that like he only knew he'd be stopped once he got into paths and like could see everything, but that's a total headcanon.
Yeah, that's completely like off screen. Like
Isn't
none of
it
it
in
is
like
ever.
one?
Sorry, go ahead.
Isn't it like in 139? It's mentioned that like even if Eren knew that his friends would die, that he continued the rumbling. I think that's mentioned.
Yeah, he says
he
that
said he-
like even if he didn't know they'd stop him, he still would have done it.
Yep.
Yeah. Even like chapter 121, I
contradicting-
believe. Like he
so
said
many
to Grisha, right?
he still planned himself to be stopped, so you can't
Like,
really.
didn't Eren say to Grisha in chapter
Can
121 that our lives continue even after we die?
Be stopped or you don't. What he wished for in the background doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's like two different versions of Eren. Like there's so many different versions of Eren in 139. So it's a mess, honestly.
I guess you could say that we believe Eren's character isn't consistent.
Okay, let's move on to the next motivation so we can prove how it doesn't also make sense.
The more important thing to note is that this is a desire that sticks with him after he receives his
Can I pause this? Like, this is not gonna be like sort of a critique to the video or like his point related, but.
Well, Oceans, you're muted if you're saying so.
Wait, what? Oh, for fuck's sakes, I was muted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's what it
And you did, guys.
My God, he was talking to himself.
Oh my god. For how long, though?
Since the beginning.
Are you
Like
kidding
a good
me?
few minutes.
You have to be kidding me, man.
Okay.
No, okay.
He was talking to a wall.
No,
Yeah,
I think it
you've
was
been
few
muted.
minutes. Few minutes, I guess.
You've been muted for about 3 minutes.
Okay,
Something
fair
like
enough. I'm saying that I'm gonna stop the video because it's not gonna be addressed to the video itself. The point I have, but like, is this really necessary to say? Because I feel like he's saying this point just to like because look, I know that this guy argues a lot on Twitter, right? And let's just say that we think Twitter discussions are not productive. Let's just put it that way. And I feel like this point only exists in this video just because the person was probably reading a lot of people saying that Eren never liked his friends, you know? That's how I feel like he structured this point. It doesn't feel like the main purpose of this point is to explain Eren's characterization or his goals or like motivations. Or
Well,
even
I
the
feel like
themes.
this is a motivation.
But it feels
So maybe
like...
it's worth bringing up.
But what I'm saying is that I feel like this point just feels like it's only here in the script of the you know, just because he feel like he has to express that Eren liked his friends, and I feel like everyone can agree outside of like, let's say Twitter, that yes, Eren liked his friends and he was doing partly for them. So I feel like this is like making the video a bit too long. That's my critique of not the point itself, but the way the video was structured. I feel like this makes the video a bit too long because most people can tell that yes, indeed, Eren did care about his friends. And that's why I don't like reading Twitter analysis, slash included, because I feel like you shouldn't recap the story as well. There's no need to recap the story. Like, people have read the story. People that have enough understanding of the story, they can agree or disagree with you in a based discussions format, right? There's no need to recap everything, just like the smallest details. Like, I don't know, that's what I think. Do you guys disagree with this? Because I feel like that's like the main issue, like with the meta of like Twitter and like YouTube videos as a whole. Like, people recapping the manga a bit too much. Like, we know that Eren likes his friends, especially such a point like this, because it only feels like it exists just to say to the people that think Eren didn't like his friends, you know. So that's why video could be a bit shorter, because 40 minutes is a bit long. Commitment, if I do say so myself. That's why it's important to be concise. So that's my critique of the video structure, not you know, his points.
Island, the culmination
Yeah,
of our
she
own.
still has the charge with the land, like,
Sorry, go on.
Nice head
She
cannon.
still has a plan. She still has a child for the sake of the plan. Like,
I hate discussing this part of the manga. I spent literally 1 year discussing this with Slash. We've been there. Please, there were fucking flashbacks.
Let's just move on.
Yeah, like I don't even want to argue about this. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, for real.
Can we just admit one thing?
I will.
Sorry, can we just acknowledge one thing, that why the Paradise never considered Zeke as an option to breed royal children? Like, I understand that it would probably wouldn't happen. Like, I'm very well aware that it won't happen in this story, because Zeke will probably try to scam those people, or just just like pretend that he will go along with that plan. Like, we can predict that.
Yeah, he doesn't bring it up.
But it was never brought up. It's like Isayama completely forgot that you can use Zeke and you can potentially save Historia. You know,
just like the spear plan, he just forgot.
Like, it was just absolutely forgotten, and because of such little things. Like, you can say that, okay, it's just like a small plot hole, it doesn't really ruin the story, but like, this little plot hole could actually mean that the whole Historia thing and the whole motivation for Eren to rumble is contrived because it becomes a plot hole.
In fairness, he would have probably rumbled anyway. Like,
can I just say, like, Evil Slash says that Historia offered the child to protect the plan, but they already had Zeke's wine. So there was like literally no need to risk her own life.
Yeah, like there was preparations. If Historia actually had reasons to be pregnant, it's because she wants to save her ass, not to become a Titan shifter. I don't see any other reason why she would do that.
But that's dumb, because pregnancy is.
I'm not saying it's necessarily the smartest option out there. I'm just saying that that's the only reason I can see why she would do that. And I don't want to go to the fucking shipping, okay?
Yeah.
Fuck off. Not gonna do the shipping part.
Wait, actually, but though, his headcanon does make Historia have more agency than I thought. Somehow she did plan with Eren to, have a child so that he would have time to enact his plan. That does make her seem like she has a more active role in the manga.
But that, okay, I understand that perspective, and my counter argument is screen time. If it was an actual deliberate plan, we would have proper context for it. Like, chapter 130 is the only context we have, and it's way too little to be considered as a screen time. I know. Yeah.
But his interpretation of it does make it seem like she does have more activity, or
that's the thing.
As if she's more part of the story.
I don't want to, personally. Sorry,
but in reality, she's not. His interpretation of it. In reality, she doesn't.
Like, that's what I'm gonna say. I feel like this interpretation is trying to justify Historia's lack of agency, other than like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just trying to justify that everyone knows that Historia shouldn't be pregnant in the story, and she should be as a queen serving her nation. Whether she would support the rumbling or not, that's an entire different topic. But her being pregnant for the story is a bad decision. Most people seem to agree.
Like, the only purpose is just kind of hollow symbolism, which isn't worth completely saying.
Yeah, like, she's just being written off. Everyone can tell that. And I know Shash can call me reductionist, which basically means I'm oversimplifying things, but no, I think that's what Isayama did. He just didn't know what to do with Historia.
The reason that Historia was pregnant was so that, like, it would, they could save Zeke's ass or something. Like, there is literally no other fucking reason she was pregnant. Apart from
and we have wine pots, so I don't know.
She's probably also pregnant for ship bait, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it so he could have that cliffhanger, shocking classic cliffhanger at the end of chapter.
And in chapter 139, as a firstborn into a world free of titans, he goes on to explicitly
one panel.
What
great significance of one fucking panel.
Yeah, I agree. One panel doesn't do much.
Examples of how
I guess I can pause for a moment. Like, it was only one panel, like, and we wasted 20 panels on Arm and Eren dialogue, which was, in my humble opinion, not so good. We could have took one of those panels out and give more stuff to the new world having meaning, At least that's my opinion.
You could have made Mikasa seeing the bird, not a whole page.
Yeah.
Both not powerful enough to achieve everything he desires, and how he has to compromise on one desire for the sake of his other ones. He went to Liberia to gain the power of the Warhammer and become a symbol of terror in the world's eyes, as well as landing.
That's not the reason he went to Liberia.
Military. But as a result,
Can we address this? Because I disagree.
I don't think he ever. The point of the attack was to get Zeke out of there and declare war on the world, not to.
Yeah, that was the point. Like, I don't know, like the whole thing about Zeke, he just suggested the plan to Marley, you know, just as like a setup for Eren to come and like, you know, get him out. That was all a setup by Eren and Zeke. That wasn't what Shash is saying. That wasn't why Eren got there. It's literally in the story. It's explained that there was a setup, and Marley knew that this is coming. Like something is coming. Like maybe they didn't necessarily suspect Zeke, but they suspected that, you know, the devils of the Paradise Island are in the Marley, and something is fishy. So that was the point. It was basically mind games. Which side is gonna, you know, play them? Basically, it.
You know,
the thing
getting
is, like,
the hammer.
Although I get
Getting
him. Sorry, go ahead. I guess.
I was just going to say that getting the hammer Titan was just a happy coincidence along the path that he was going.
Yeah, most certainly a happy coincidence. But the thing is, I understand that he's like talking about this once again from thematical perspective, but this is plot. You're ignoring plot just to analyze the themes. You know, that's the thing. Like, I understand if this would be like some sort of like Fire Punch, for example, a story which is theme-driven story. I understand fully if you're like spending most of your time analyzing the themes, but you're ignoring a lot of the plot just to analyze the themes. And that's what issues people usually have. And I feel like the video is probably, to an extent, meant to deliver to the people that think Attack on Titan has bad ending. And when you focus only on the themes, I feel like you overlook the issues people really have, which is plot-driven nonsense, you know, people have. I know.
Goals and all that stuff.
I agree. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Because we're only a quarter through.
this is what he gets so he can do is keep moving forward.
What's the end goal?
Yeah, you should.
Getting to the carpet.
He should elaborate on that. But yeah.
Stop at 80%.
When Armin asks him for the second time, all he knew was that Mikasa would survive, as she was the one who would bring.
Stop. He says he didn't know their fates before achieving the founder power. I think the implication is that he doesn't know even then.
Yeah.
I feel like that is the implication.
Basically, he just saw Mikasa, like, he only knew that Mikasa would survive. Like, everyone else, like, he wasn't too sure about. So that's what he's saying.
It gets worse with Mikasa, because, like, he says he doesn't know. He knows she ends the Titan curse, right? But he also doesn't know what. She knows she makes a choice for some reason, but he doesn't know what the result of the choice is. But, so, bro, what's the in the future memories?
It's so convenient. Like, future memories are so convenient, right? They just...
Yeah, I agree. It is very convenient. Like the paths as a whole as well. Like up to chapter 1 to 31, I think it was fine for the most part. I don't think people had issues with paths, but like in chapter 137, the paths became.
Yeah, when it was used sparingly, like people were fine with it. But when Isayama literally spammed the shit out of paths, right, in 137, where you literally bring dead shifters back. I mean, then it just became stupid.
Yeah, like the thing about this is like I can see what Isayama was doing, and you can make sense out of it, right? But the thing is, the power paths has no set rules or limits, and it feels like everything is almost possible.
It's a plot device, so basically, it depends on how much.
Yeah, it's a plot device. I mean, like you could argue that Full Metal Alchemist, the whole like. Going, meeting the god is also like a plot device, but it's done in a very subtle way and it's not overused in the story. And that's why people have no issues in Full Metal Alchemist, for example. In Attack on Titan, people have issues because it's overused and it has no set of rules. What did Zeke and Armin had to sacrifice, for example, to bring, let's say, Grisha back? Not bring him back from the dead, that's not what I'm saying, but like bring his Titan to fight there. Like what he had to do there. Like it was just your only explanation is just to argue and express the themes. You can actually explain by the plot why he's back. You can say that maybe Ymir did something, maybe Zeke has royal blood. You can go through those ways, but like you're gonna guess. You're not gonna get any explanation.
Let's keep going.
You know the.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Sorry.
Go on.
I was about to say that I think the main thing with why people have different interpretations of Eren and why, when people look at the plot, they're like, what the fuck's going on here? Is because Isayama did try to make two Erens at the same time. The Eren that was feverishly, just single-mindedly trying to pursue freedom, and then there's the second Eren that just loved his friends, right?
Yeah.
And like they were going in tandem at the same time, and it's as if Isayama never picked one to solidly, push forward and show the character of Eren, which is why he's like a big clusterfuck.
Yeah, you could argue.
Plot-wise.
Okay, I can see that.
Why there's so much debate. This is why I said there's so much debate, like among in the entire fandom, as to what Eren's character actually is like. It's precisely because of this.
Yeah, I agree, and also maybe people will. I can assume that people will try to justify this, like. But what if Reiner is the parallel to Eren? Like, do you remember when Reiner had almost like split personality shit? Would you think that people would try to justify Eren as like having split personality, basically? As like Reiner did. Like I think that would be. I think that's bullshit. There's no way that's a thing.
His head is messed up, Velocious. Don't you remember?
Yeah,
that was my favorite. That was one of the fake leaks one time. They're like, his head's messed up.
Yeah, it most certainly is messed up, just not in the way I would assume it is. But the thing is, didn't Eren he was prepared for all of this, right? Like he was going to Marley, he was well prepared, and he knew exactly what he's going to do. What's the point to make his head all messed up and all that stuff? Like he knew, like that's just inconsistent writing. If you like that sort of like what it brings to the story, right? That's fair enough. You like that. But for me and other people, it feels inconsistent of what was established before, and that's why we don't like it.
Yeah, like his development in Marley arc, like, literally matures, right?
Yeah, like he became much more mature as a person in Marley arc, right? And now he's just really being rage started again, I guess. No one likes that. Because
you're backtracking his development, basically, like to the same.
Yeah.
To the kid that he used to be, like it's, yeah.
There's also the problem of, sorry, Strawman, if I could just say this. There's also the problem of never showing Eren having an internal conflict.
Oh yeah.
Just sort of. Yeah. You could say that there are two Erens, right? And that could have been great if his need for freedom and his love for his friends were fighting each other in the story.
Yeah.
But somehow, Isayama made it so that both of them worked out at the same time, but didn't at the same time. He almost like tried to make him fulfill both goals, and he failed at both goals.
Yeah, it's this whole internal conflict. Like it's never even shown. It's completely off screen, so we don't even know what the fuck is going on. Only in the final chapter, it is told to us that like he never.
Yeah, but even in the final chapter, he just says, "I don't know what the fuck I'm doing." Basically, that's what Eren says.
Yeah, I would justify the "I don't know why" a bit more because it's only referring to Eren's like lust for freedom, but even then, it's done bad. Like.
Yeah, but he says, "Why did you do this?"
Yeah, sorry,
and he says, "I don't know."
Well, no, he's saying like, Eren already gave justified motives through the rumbling earlier in the conversation. Armin's like, "Why would you do this? Even if like you knew even if you didn't know, we'd stop you. Like, what's driving you that much?" And he's like, "I don't know why I want to do it, but like I just wanted to do this since I was born."
Like,
and that's in line with his motivation for freedom. That is in line. He was trying to fulfill something that he thought would give him freedom. He just didn't know why he wanted to do this exact thing and why he felt like this would gain him freedom. Right? That's basically the explanation for that. But then there's also the weird... Yeah. But then the problem with that is that he also said, "Oh yeah, I knew you guys would stop me," so that contradicts his own belief that he will gain freedom from doing this
basically,
action.
Yes.
Well, I suppose you could probably headcanon like.
Yeah, like there's a thing. I feel like I feel like if you're forced to headcanon certain stuff like this, the story has failed, and there's no room for debate. You can headcanon, you can make sense out of it, right? But at the end of the day, you're forced for yourself to basically make up your headcanon, whatever you want to believe.
Yeah, the story can only be good if you headcanon parts of it. Like.
It's not.
It also emphasizes how he does not want the culture of passing down titans to be carried on any further.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go on.
Like everyone's quoting this Eren quote about wishing his friends to live long lives, but like Eren at that time is saying a lot of things he wishes for, like the 50-year plan and finding peace and not sacrificing his story and all that, and we know how that turns out. So, what Eren
Well,
wished
no, but he
at
didn't sacrifice. Well, he didn't sacrifice his story, and
yeah, I'm just saying, like what he wished at that point was not necessarily indicative of what would come after.
Oh, I can see that.
Forced to choose.
I mean, you can totally see the memories as like what Eren used to be before, after like becoming what he is now. You can see that way. I don't think you're like wrong to think that way, but it's interpretation based sort of thing. So it's not like me, you, or like Shash is correct about it. Like it's just interpretation based, basically. I think.
Guys, Eren is the monster of the story. Just wanted to remind you.
Yeah, I think Soul. I think Soul was actually correct about Eren being the monster. So if you're gonna watch this, you're based. Make your video faster, please. That's it.
Rumbling means there would be no end to the Titan Curse, and the end of the Titan Curse.
Wait, why?
Completing the Rumbling.
What?
Because of some contrivance?
He can just end the Titan Curse after this.
Pause.
No,
Yeah,
I think the idea is that Mikasa wouldn't have, like, in the 139 rules, right? Like, Ymir needs to see Mikasa kill Eren to move on and end the Titan Curse. But, like, Mikasa wouldn't kill. Yeah, he's gonna say now that
just makes him a slave to Ymir. Like, what?
Yeah, I think the idea is Mikasa wouldn't have killed him unless it was to save the remnants of humanity. And if Eren went full rumbling, she wouldn't have killed him, so he had to choose.
It's circular logic, though. It's just like circular logic. There's no actual motivation behind it. It just happens because Ymir is
like Eren. I suppose, like, if you put Eren the choice between like the full rumbling or ending the curse, he probably would choose the latter. But like, it's done very poorly. Like.
Yeah, it is done poorly.
Very poor.
There's no real reason for it to
That
happen.
means only Ymir could have ended the Titan Curse. Like no one. Ymir was in power, basically.
Yeah, it means that the lovely girl that was raped could end the curse if she just only wished for it, but she didn't.
Well, I suppose it makes. Well, she is a god. I guess she does need to like move on to end the Titan Curse or whatever, but like, yeah, I mean that whole plot point is bad enough already. So like,
Yeah, let's not get into that whole shit. Like,
Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't bring this up. Please not. Okay, can I continue? Because we're only 30 minutes and we have to go faster, I guess.
So if there was no one to save, she wouldn't do it. I'm against the 50-year plan. He is also someone that is always...
So he mentioned something about how Eren knew there was a possibility. I would like to know what panel suggests that for 122, because I believe when he touched Ymir in 122, that's when he knew the full capacity of his future memories. And another thing, his entire character arc was about letting go of hatred. And when he knew what the Titans really were, victims, he let go of the hatred for them, and he realized his true enemy was the cycle of hatred, or humanity beyond the walls.
I think I get Tasha's point that, like, of course he would want to end the Titan Curse because parents, children eating their parents isn't exactly something he would wish for, and all the subjugation, but like it's not mutually exclusive with the full rumbling, because what's the point of ending the curse if you're just gonna get nuked 50 years later?
Yeah, I mean,
that's obvious.
So what? No, basically what Islam is trying to say is that like the reason why people, everyone outside the walls, like they hate the aliens because they can turn into Titans, not because they're aliens. So like, but that's not true because
that's dumb. Like people hate each other based on nationality in real life.
Well, of course, like the racism wouldn't be as bad if they weren't able to turn Titans anymore. That's like a positive. But Eren and Eldian still destroyed 80% of the world. That's the racism is not going to get much better because of that.
Full support from the government and the Queen. So yeah.
Eren acknowledges that time itself is the problem, and that to buy them that time, they had to stop the enemy from messing with them, showing he was never adverse to the idea he ultimately went with, even when his
Yeah, but the context is completely different.
Yeah, the context is totally different.
He's already like 80% is a whole lot different from like a partial rumbling, like very different.
Did he really not use the King Fritz "I'm gonna end this world" panel? Because that's like the clearest indication he's gonna end the Titan curse like this.
Yeah,
this is weak. So
Because actually, he mentions that in about a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Or more importantly, the lack of it. It's revealed that it was not only his actions, but those
Please.
also, which
Fuck off! No. Mikasa is the wrong choice. I am biased here. I don't care. Mikasa being here is a bad decision, and it's not because of whatever your theme is. It's because she has absolutely no development towards that moment.
Not even that. Like in chapter 122, right? When 122 came out, not even a single fucking one like of us was like, you know what? Mikasa is gonna be the one to end this shit. Like no one was. Like, this was just thrown last minute, like right in our faces.
Look. I can say this that way. I can totally see that Mikasa will kill Eren. Like
I would have bought it. I would have bought.
Can I finish? Sorry. I would totally see that Mikasa will kill Eren. I feel like that part makes sense, because that's the whole thing of Attack on Titan, the tragic and beauty, But here being the chosen one, that's not a thing here. No.
Her ending the Titan curse, that's just last minute. Like I don't care what anyone says.
I would have bought it if Armin was the one to end the Titan curse. If Armin did it.
If Armin was one, then
that would have made more sense because
people would hate Armin even more.
Yeah, but as a character, Armin is more connected to Eren and to being a Titan in general because he's the colossal Titan, right? It would make more sense that he would be somehow more in touch with Pats in some capacity. Like, I understand that the hate for him is big, but plot-wise, it makes more sense if Armin was the key all along than if it was Mikasa.
Yeah,
for sure.
Anyone other than Mikasa, I'm pretty even
the thing is, what themes does Mikasa tackle? I can tell you right now what theme she tackles. She tackles family.
Apart from her love for Eren, there is nothing to her.
No, she has her family theme. Her whole character.
Well, she does have the beauty in this cruel world thing.
It's basically inspired by Eren, but yeah, the thing is, her exclusive theme, which isn't related to Eren and not copying his quotes like Tatakai, is family. As a character, she just wants to live a happy life as it was before, without suffering. That's all she wants. It makes sense for her. I'm just not sure why this character has to be related to ending the Titan curse.
And there's no virtually there's no connection between her and Ymir. I don't see any similarities. Both of them have completely different lives. Both of them in completely different circumstances. So what's the point of
Eren called her slave once. That's your parallel, bro.
Oh yeah, the slave shit. Yeah.
No, the jokes aside.
I think the idea is that Mikasa lets go of Eren. Both of them.
It's about the love, basically, because the same way Ymir, because through Mikasa, basically Ymir lets go of that love, because it's suffering. It implies that love sometimes is suffering. That's basically
I think it's that Ymir could have let go to if she wanted to, or something.
Was this become a story about love, for fuck's sake?
I mean, she could have. It's the same thing with Zeke, right? Really, Zeke could have done this shit by himself, but we needed to wait Armin to say that to Zeke.
I thought the conversation could have been brilliant. It was just rushed to death.
Yeah, it could have been so good, but no.
I would be fine with Mikasa if she tackles racism, freedom, oppression, all those things, right? If she tackles those things like Reiner, for example, does, or Zeke, or Armin, because those characters actually care about those things, I would totally understand why they would be in Mikasa's place. I'm just not sure why Mikasa in this place. It's only there just to parallel her to Ymir, that's it. That's only excuse Isayama has as a writer, and that's kind of bad writing right here.
It's just like a lazy retcon to insert like forced importance to her choice.
Yeah, basically.
Can we keep going?
Yeah.
No longer act as back.
That literally contradicts all his ideology up until this point. His growth, so.
I disagree, and I'm sure everyone else disagrees. Isn't the point of Eren's characters, looking at very simplistic way, is that he didn't want to have like some sort of like very unclear consequences. He wanted proper results that will ensure Paradis' safety no matter what.
Yeah, and he just showed a panel saying that earlier in the video of Eren saying that. So
yeah, you can argue that this is a compromise, but this is not what Eren is about.
No,
it's simply not. It was very clear that you can argue that there was selfishness to him, there was freedom aspect, which is true. It's undeniable. But there's also a third part to him, which I touch in my own video, is that he simply seen no other choice as well. It wasn't that he just basically a slave to destiny or himself. He genuinely also wasn't able to see anything else. Even Isayama himself stated in like one of those interviews that one person was asking basically what he's supposed to think of, like when he said that beyond beyond the books there was something else, like there was something else that he wanted to rumble, and basically Isayama said that it's a mix of everything. Eren also couldn't believe that the outside world is so hateful, so he genuinely believed that the outside world is hateful towards Paradis and will do no matter what it takes to destroy them.
Yeah, well,
that is also partly why he becomes depressed, because he's also unable to find different solutions. It's not just I slave to memories, I rumble now. It takes away for his character agency that way, if you want to argue that this is good for his character, which I think taking away agency from character in such a way is a bad writing, in my opinion, at least.
Like, one of the things that really gets on my nerves here is that, like, after RTS, Eren, like, his whole outlook kind of changes. Like, he trusts more, like, in himself. Like, say, how in Uprising, he saves his friends based on, like, his own strength, and not, like, when he trusted Levi's squad, they died, and he blamed himself for that. And I think, like, after his future memories, Eren became a lot more reliant on, like, his own strength, as opposed to trusting in his friends. Mm-hmm. And then, like, sure, you could get to the point where he trusts, like, Armin and co again to find a better solution. But they don't show that. They just show that, oh, he trusts Armin again. And people say, oh, well, he trusted Armin in RTS. Yeah, but you're ignoring that he changed completely after RTS.
And also...
Yeah, but another thing about this is he literally just destroyed 80% of the world's population. He took away the Titan powers, right? Which was basically their only leverage against the outside world. And then he hands over everything else to Armin. Like, he basically makes
he leaves the Jaegerist in charge, yeah.
Yeah, and the Jaegerist as well. So he's basically just making it much, much harder for Armin for no fucking reason. Like,
yeah.
Thank you, Eren, for becoming a monster for our sake.
You truly made me big profits.
It's not even for their sake. Eren tells Armin twice over in their conversation that it was for a lot more than his friends, and that he didn't even know if most of them would survive.
Yeah. Saying, like, if he wanted, he should have let his friends in on his plan then, if that was his end game. Basically, if he trusted, like, Armin this much, he could have just fucking told him or something, but, I mean, whatever.
Symbol of hatred to rally around, and even that is more of a consequence of Eren's actions, in comparison to being the very reason Lelouch did what he did. Sorry about that detour, I just really hate the comparison, and it doesn't make much sense. These have been all of his goals and motivations.
Okay, actually I agree with that. Actually, I agree with that, because I'd say you should compare Eren more to Hitler than fucking Lelouch. But yeah, I think.
Wait, hold on. I'm good meme that
You
says
should
that.
compare him to the protagonist on Dark, if you're gonna compare him to anything.
Dark is
This is
good.
just
Oh, you can do that as well, yeah.
confrontation with Hanji in the cells as he
Okay, I'm sorry. Sasha's death is literally when her friend, that he's knew for a long time, is dead. Over when his friend would call him slave. I don't think this comparison is fair, in my humble opinion. I don't know about you guys.
and therefore
Okay, I don't know okay, this video is definitely, now I definitely believe that this video is mainly made. It is called just analysis, but you can tell that this is definitely made under the response of people that not liking Attack on Titan. This doesn't feel like natural analysis of Attack on Titan, but more like just saying, guys, you didn't read the story.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell that this is why he made this video, which is like, it's fine, but I feel like next time, oh, I guess he did mention this in the beginning, so it's fine, I guess.
He's not outright insulting people.
Yeah, at least he's not like in his Twitter account. But
He's kind of like saying that, yeah, like, let me clarify these things for you because you clearly did not understand the story. So I think that's what he might be saying. I don't know.
yeah, it does feel like it. Although maybe it's not intentional. You never know. Like I need to speak with the guy myself to know his intentions. But for now, it does feel like he's just basically making this video to say, "Hey, speed readers, you don't understand the story. Here's why." And he drops the reasons as to why he thinks it is. And also, speaking of the facade, I don't know what points he was reading on Twitter, because once again, I consider Twitter a shit platform because there's no good discussion there. But for example, my reasons as to why I find the facade bad is because it makes Eren a shitty mystery box, and it doesn't do any good for Attack on Titan in general. Do you guys agree with that or not?
It just invalidates everything that he did post time skip as like, oh, he was just faking it. Oh, he was just acting, right? So pretty much everything that he said to everyone else post time skip was just a lie, right? So it's extremely disingenuous, and it completely undervalues everything, like all that development he went through.
No,
So
I can see that perspective, although I don't think it does it that way. I just feel like, from my perspective, it just basically makes Eren just a walking mystery box. Like, was he genius this time? Or was he not genius? That's the gray area the guy even mentions here. Like, that's the gray area. You have to guess if he was genuine or not. And I'm sorry, but I don't feel like Eren as a character should be someone that is like mystery box where you have to guess what he thinks, if he's actually being real or not this time, you know? I don't think that's what Eren is about. He's about freedom, you know? So I don't know why Isama was trying to make this like sort of complicated character arc for Eren, but when there was no reason. Because Mari arc, Eren was already someone that has basically came to conclusion that he has to fight, and that's it. He has made up his mind already, so I don't really see any need for this facade, or whatever you want to call this.
not want to die merely because he was born into this world, or when he sees how much he has hurt Mikasa. In paths, we see him
Is this the neck point here? What's happening?
Yeah, I actually don't understand what the fuck is the point here. And I'm not sure if I want to go through this unless someone else wants to.
Let's keep going. It's just some bullshit. Like,
yeah, it feels like headcanon. Like I don't. I'm pretty sure in the manga it was implied that Eren was. It was already he has gone beyond help. Like you can't help him anymore. Like it's over for him. Basically, that's what it was implied in the manga. I'm not sure what he's implying here though.
His memory will contain his anger while listening to the king say that Paradis should just lie down and die, because this goes against absolutely everything he stands for. This even extends to his father when he is unable to turn, and Eren therefore looks at him with disgust.
Oh yeah, before it didn't. Before it didn't, but now it does. Consistency. I never heard of such a thing before, but I guess it doesn't exist in Attack on Titan.
Has to remind Grecian. Even his monologues both.
So you're basically saying that he is different based on situation. And that's how I see him saying that, like, that he is actually different as a person based on scenario. Am I wrong? Or I don't understand. Maybe I understand what he's trying to say here, but I'm pretty sure he just indirectly himself confirmed that Eren isn't consistent as a character.
Yeah, she's basically contradicting himself without realizing it.
Yeah, he didn't realize that he contradicted himself, and I'm not sure if I hope he does realize that later on.
Yeah, I mean, like, like he's basically shooting himself on the foot here when he's bringing up panels from 121, 122, and 123, because the ending literally contradicted these chapters the most, right? So this is when you can definitely find so many holes and so many contradictions, like in these chapters.
To his friends in chapter.
Go on. Sorry.
No, wait. Like this is my problem with this, right? So basically, Eren could have finished the rumbling, and he could have also saved his friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and he still didn't like take away their powers or anything. This is just bad. I mean, this is just horrible. He could have just, like he could have had it both ways easily. Like he could have finished the rumbling. He could have finished what he was set out to do, and he could have also saved his friends. Like his.
I mean, look at this. You can look at this that way. He could have run the 80% plan whilst taking away their powers and still doing the exact same bullshit result, like getting rid of the Titan powers. He could have done it if he wanted to, anyways.
Yeah, I mean it's much
like
worse.
that's the thing with Isaya's writing. He has cool ideas, but sometimes those ideas are half baked, and you can tell that they're half baked.
Do so.
Also, that's bullshit. Literally in chapter 133, he said, "I will not bet on Parade's future." Literally, the next line. But you can try to kill me, guys. So, are you betting on the future, or are you not betting on the future? Which one is it? It's literally in the same lines of dialogue.
It's all just a facade.
Yeah, he just doesn't understand. His head is messed up, guys.
And by the time of his conversation with Armin, he's the man who has seen beyond
What goals?
and is no longer
Yeah, exactly.
as there is nothing to move forward to. Of the rumbling, he simply doesn't have the will to. As the regeneration.
Then why he proceeds to fucking fight everyone and kill everyone if he doesn't have the will to? This doesn't make sense. I don't care what kind of a headcanon you're going to use for this one. This just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, nice headcanon, bro.
not taking that one. No, I literally cannot see in any way or capacity how this works in the story.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Let's keep going.
And it's something intrinsically. He is filled with guilt.
There is no
regret,
logical
and
explanation.
self-loathing, timelessly by the weight of his own decision.
Okay, so if he doesn't want to regenerate, then kill yourself. If that's your goal, but no, he actually tries to fight anyone. Even Armin says in 138, correct me if I'm wrong, but he literally says, "You're stubborn cunt, you still want to fight." Right? That's what he said, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, you sure loved as hell.
So you're contradicting the story right now, mate. I don't know what you're trying to say.
No, it's all just a stage show, so
to his best
friend.
friend.
So
I can understand people who thought the execution was outburst meant to be, and Armin himself even emphasizes this.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure most people understand that this is Eren having emotional outburst. The issue is not how he has it. The issue is that his character has no reason to have emotional outbursts in this very moment. Because he has emotional outbursts for fucking Mikasa, whilst he is killing 80% of humanity. I'm pretty sure there's more important things to focus on than his love for Mikasa. I'm pretty sure that's why people are mad.
I mean, this scene is just like the icing on top.
And also this scene feels incoherent and out of place and out of tone. It's just terrible in general.
It's just a symptom, not the disease itself.
Speaks to the genuine knowledge.
He shouldn't care about forgiveness. That's his character.
That's not Eren, right? That's just okay, whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't care about forgiveness.
I think Lars said it best.
Eren, right? Eren
attempted to actually judge of the children of the forest theme, which speaks of trauma and the effect.
This is
what?
Okay, this is a pig level reach. Yeah. This is the same as pigs, man. For fuck's sake.
Children. Zeke's, which works
there was that one panel with Zeke in the forest.
Yeah, there's one panel.
Each aspect of one is reflected
the monkey
by
thing
the
is
other.
funny though.
Zeke was brought up without parental love and yearned.
This is just recapping. I'm sorry. This is recapping.
Yeah, but Zeke's plan is the one that ends the cycle of hatred. Everyone's doesn't, so like.
Yeah, that's also the case here.
Zeke is white, his warped perspective of it.
Can we discuss Zeke right now?
No, please.
Okay.
I don't think we have the time, but it's shit. Yeah, I mean,
I just want to say that 137 destroys Zeke as a character. That's it. If you want to discuss this, we can do this some other time, but not now.
It could work as an idea, but it's just so poorly executed and rushed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. It's poorly executed for sure. But the thing is about Zeke is that his character was about the Odian blood lineage. That was his main concern. It wasn't the forest. Like even in chapter 81, when he was like killing the soldiers, he basically said, "I need to enjoy my little things in life." He hated the idea that soldiers would sacrifice their lives for nothing. I'm pretty sure that doesn't necessarily go aligned with what this chapter is implying 137. But yeah, that's it. I don't want to go over deep because people don't want to, so fuck it.
That should be another
This is
analysis.
contrasted by Eren, who becomes a literal Grisha.
I mean, does he really allow them, or does
it just happens? It's not like he allows, like...
He literally makes an edgy joke right after to nullify the whole moment, like to make fun of Zeke. But like saying that he did it out of kindness is like the opposite.
Yeah.
To the larger end goal of having Zeke sacrifice himself, but in order to complete his
Can
goal.
you pause just for a second?
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's gonna completely ignore the point that Grisha burdened Eren with a curse and was like represented the sins of the father and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think he is like... I'm pretty sure he mentioned on Twitter that he thinks Grisha is the one who surpassed his father, which is like... Okay.
Yeah, which is just a horrible thing.
Yeah, it's just... Bro, this is... I'm pretty sure that's not the point, but okay, you can see it that way, I guess.
They are still decided to pay it anyway, and admits he would have done the same, regardless of whether his friends would have stopped him or not.
Mm-hmm.
He literally just described Eren like, he knows the cloud, he keeps moving forward,
Back
he doesn't let himself be stopped.
Eren and Armin, it's again pointed out when...
I have one big critique to the video. It's not about the script, it's about the way he analyzes certain things. We don't really need to... You don't need to analyze every single small detail, like how the character is looking at fucking ocean or stones. We as the reader can tell what they're feeling. It's not necessary or really that important to their characters. Because we're 30 minutes in. I feel like being a bit more concise would be appreciated here. It's just an advice, because I went through the same thing when I made my videos. I know that being concise is important. Because some things are very unnecessary to mention. It's just not important. But that's it. We can continue, guys.
Anami surrenders control to Mikasa, someone outside of himself.
What?
Both her answer
what control?
and interruption are things
Eren is just looking for an answer. What?
I mean, he could literally just keep asking if he wanted to. Like, there's no outside control pushing him back. It's just...
Yeah, that's just reaching. I mean, it's not a big of a point, but still.
This is more like a philosophical argument.
That his final act of resistance to the future is through a type of surrender.
Yeah, Darkness is better anyways.
But trying to realize. Looking at the reflection.
Okay, that's just reaching. You can clearly see Grisha and Carla. It's not like Mikasa's exclusive family member. She's the only remaining one. That's how you can see it. Not that she's the home for him. She's just the only little sort of people that he has in his life, basically. It's not necessarily
the only family member at this point.
Yeah, that's it. It's not like you should interpret this like big family member.
Genuinely, 38 works in the way that it does.
No. That's not why she said family. It's very obvious she said family because she was very shy to say what she really thinks. Mikasa is not brain dead, for fuck's sakes. I mean, she's...
What's his point? I don't get it. Like, can you...
Apparently, Mikasa is saying family as a form of expression of love for Eren. I think that's his point.
No, it's the generic answer to just dodge his question.
Specifically has done this exact thing before.
I would argue that this could imply that Eren and Mikasa's relationship basically means that they're always gonna live in their own little world, ignoring the genocide and all that stuff. And that's why Eren rejects this sort of thing. Like, not necessarily rejects this.
It's an impossible dream, yeah.
Yeah, it's an impossible dream. It's not that... you can say that he wants this or not, like, this totally different thing. But it's basically implied in one phrase that he sees this an impossible dream that won't happen. It's just basically imagination. And that's why, ironically, it only happens in the paths. because this is not possible. And you could argue that this is what Mikasa realized. Something Eren realized long time ago. It's just a dream, it won't happen. And you should let it go and do what has to be done. And Eren decided to do what has to be done. He decided to rumble. And Mikasa done what she thinks she has to do and kill him. You can see it that way. It's not like it's... I feel like the way Shash analyzes Attack on Titan is a bit reaching. And sometimes making simple things sound very complex when they're quite possibly very simple and there's no deeper meaning behind certain scenes. I feel like that's his main issue when he comes to analyze fictional stories, is that he makes things sound a bit deeper when they really are, you know?
And he simply moves forward towards said conclusion, regardless of the external or internal damage that it causes. It's also extra proof that Mikasa was...
So you're implying that he's the plot device. Am I wrong?
Yeah. And
you're basically confirming that he's a plot device.
Why does he care for forgiveness then? Like, what's...
Yeah. Like, that contradicts what he's saying. Like, he wouldn't care about forgiveness. He wouldn't care about killing those people. You just confirmed yourself, and you probably don't realize it. You just said he's a plot device. And that's why I'm saying that this is the issue with Shash's arguments and like analysis. He makes things like plot device sound deep and complex when it's quite simple to notice what's the issue here.
Yeah, you should just dig under the surface a bit.
Yeah.
When the parallels are brilliantly done. I think this parallel is something that set up in the story from the beginning, using the juxtaposition of imagery for birds versus flowers.
I'm not gonna go through that parallel thing.
Guys, did you get the birds symbolize freedom?
That one bird crying.
Wait, are we actually analyzing flowers now? Oh, I'm sorry, I have to pause it, but this is like Evangelion fans when they analyze the crosses in the end of Evangelion movie. Like, there's no deeper meaning behind it. There's some meaning, of course there is something, but the author doesn't bring that much deeper meaning behind it. I feel like that's what happens when like people become a bit pretentious, you know? Like, some things are just not that deep. The author doesn't always put that much thought behind it as you think he is. Symbolism is symbolism, it just symbolizes something. I don't know, man. I don't know why we're analyzing flowers of all things in 35 minutes long video already.
Even then, the beauty in the two elements of freedom intertwined for the first time.
Except it represents the new curse, not freedom.
Yeah, the tree literally represents curse. And you can also see trees as life, not freedom. The birds are freedom, not trees are life. And in this case, this big ass tree that looks hella scary is a curse. It basically implies that the cycle continues. It doesn't imply that any force theme here.
Didn't he already address this in the video earlier, saying like the tree represents the cycle continuing? Why is he contradicting himself?
I don't know, but like he's clearly contradicting himself right now. Like this scene obviously says the cycle continues, and that's why people are mad, because they feel like this whole journey doesn't mean shit basically, because the cycle continues. Everything that happened before, it has no meaning because it will continue anyway. The same mistakes over and over again.
Everything really well to his conclusion.
Well, you did give a try. I don't think this video is like awful or anything. I just think for the first time it's okay video. I just think you can smell clearly biases, and I feel like those biases affects his analysis quite a lot. Besides the recapping, which is like, you can always fix those things, but his biggest flaw in my opinion is biases. Big biases. Yeah. Towards his own interpretations, because I feel like whenever you analyze something for YouTube videos like this, you should watch like Soul does, like what Soul does it. Like, I don't want to suck his dick, but the reason why Soul is successful is because he knows what he's saying. He knows how people will react to the words he's choosing. He chooses his words carefully. And this guy doesn't seem to choose his words carefully. You can say that this is analyzed, but he's basically just saying, this is how I understand the story, and also I think you're a speed reader. That's how you can see this video being structured as. It's being very subtly hidden, so you wouldn't notice, but people who know him for, like, let's say Twitter, you can definitely tell that this video exists out mainly because of his desire to say that I think most people are speed readers. That's why they don't like the ending.
Make him a more realistic.
It was a nice try. The video was a nice try, but you can't really defend the indefensible.
Yeah, like he did try, like he did put effort and I guess passion. I respect that, and I think the video isn't actually bad. Like, I'd say it's like 5 or 6 out of 10 in my opinion. Like, it's his first try, you know. I can't say that he's like awful or anything, because I don't think it's awful video, but like.
The others also
Just get rid of fucking biases, mate. That's my biggest advice. Just don't be biased.
By thanking him due to his acknowledgement that he and the
Go back a bit
others
further.
Okay,
his ideology
okay, let's go here.
and dynamics all tie extremely well to his conclusion. They make him a more realistic and human character.
How can you be biased though?
Upon the pitfalls of dehumanizing
Like, can you be biased?
The entire point of the
When you like
allegory in the first
analyze
It's
fiction,
also never
especially Attack on Titan.
Yeah, you can be biased, of course, but I'm saying that I feel like his biases takes the main priority, and in this case, his bias is to express the desire that people don't understand the ending, and that's why his analysis feels a bit short, they didn't make the cut, because it feels like it's structured and written by that desire to express that, oh fuck, people are speed readers, they don't understand the ending. You can clearly tell that this is the reason why he's making this video in the first place. And maybe even worse, he doesn't realize that himself. And that's what I mean by biases. Like, when you're making this sort of video, do not make it under assumption that you want to say, I think you don't understand the ending, or something like that. If you just want to express that you think the ending is good, focus just on that. You don't need to say facade. What's the point of the facade section of the video? You just want to say that you think people are speed readers. That's basically it. People are not dumb. They can they can tell very easily why you're making this video. So it's really hard to code this analysis to an extent because you're just being very biased.
On to condemn those actions as the worst transgression. The others also.
I'm pretty sure that's not the issue people have. The issue people have is the selection of words, because it dehumanizes Eren and makes him. It's just circle jerk. It's unnecessary circle jerk that doesn't need to be.
It's just a symptom of a disease. It's not like what the scene doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can call it that, I suppose.
Such a small issue. It's like the whole
yeah.
conflict itself is so badly done.
I mean, you can say that this scene is a product of bigger disease, of bigger problem.
Yeah, that's
simply carry on the attitude they've had throughout. It's an attempt
please.
to step away from the hatred.
Can you pause this?
Yeah, I can.
Wait. Pointless. There was a lot of pointless posturing in the last couple chapters, though.
Is he saying that them condemning genocide would be pointless posturing? What?
No. He's what I'm saying right now. He's basically saying that the last few chapters kind of wrapped up very nicely, or something like that, right? And there was no pointless posturing, as in like the story never said something. Oh yeah, this is bad, or whatnot. But there was a lot of them, I think.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there was also the pointless posturing of, oh yeah, Eren wasn't all that bad. But yeah, he's a monster, you know? Yeah. But I don't know, the way the story ended, it did position itself in a sort of way to try and pretend
I mean, for fuck's sake,
okay.
You have characters literally saying, thanks for genocide. I'm pretty sure this is unnecessary. It doesn't need to be in the story. It doesn't change.
It's fan service, yeah, it's fan service.
It's basically fan service, and it's a very horrible one.
Their experiences up and turn people into monsters. That it isn't black and white, purely good or purely evil.
Hey, I watched Soul video before. sorry.
This theme of duality, he ends the story riddled with guilt and
I
tortured
actually
by his
agree
own
with that.
sins, willingly killed at the hands of the one he loved.
I do kind of agree, but not in the context of what Chapter 149 presented.
Jaeger, or merely over something.
Okay. This is okay. I don't think that this is a headcanon. I think you're just making an excuse to justify this.
Yeah,
it's very obvious why this is happening.
Let's let him finish. Let's let him finish first.
Fuck it. Yeah, sure.
Eren's actions did not solve world peace for all time, nor should they have, and these weren't even his goals to begin with. Saying Eren's character.
Then what was his
What-
goals?
Didn't you say giving paradise was one of his goals earlier in the video?
I think he did say that it was.
Yeah.
But although I could be wrong, but I think he did say it.
But then he also didn't care about that anymore because he just wanted his friends to live long lives, right? That's his goal. That's his actual
So wait,
real goal.
so he
Yeah.
doesn't care about his goals, but he actually cares about his goals.
But he has
No.
goal.
He didn't have any real goal except for making his friends live long lives, which he can only vouch for Mikasa having that. Every single other friend, he didn't know if they would survive if he went ahead with his plan, which doesn't make sense if he wanted his friends to live long lives. Because
That's not true.
the 50-year plan, he could have made them live long lives. That's not true.
It's not true. He only knew. He didn't know if they would survive in the Battle of Paradise. He knew they would survive after touching Ymir. If you read his wording specifically, he says the Battle of Paradise.
I didn't know that. But
I'm not sure.
wait,
I'm
Wait,
not
no,
sure
wait.
if that even proves
I'm
the
pretty
point.
sure. I'm pretty sure he was talking about whether they would survive the battle with him at the end, not, before
Yeah, like
Paradise.
it even was saying that he doesn't know even
He said the
at
Battle
this
of
very
Paradise.
moment.
To me, when Marley attacked, he had no idea if they would survive.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the 50-year plan would have guaranteed that they would have lived at least 50 years. His friends that he wanted to make sure would survive for a long time, if that was his actual
What about Armin?
goal.
What about Armin? He would die from the
Yeah.
Titan curse.
Yeah, but he didn't. He couldn't guarantee either way if Armin would survive because he didn't know that.
He could
Yeah,
end the
the end
Titan
if they
curse
would-
anyway.
Yeah.
But post touching Ymir, he knew they would all survive.
I don't think so.
No, he didn't.
Let's keep going. This is.
Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost there.
The point for me. More so, are all human actions inherently pointless because we will all one day.
Well, I'm sorry. As someone who studied history in high level, I can tell you, Alexander the Great's actions are considered great because they mattered in the end. They left the mark on history. And you can say Eren's actions left mark on history, but it only left a mark on history by hating Eldian people and wanting to fucking destroy them. Alexander the Great's actions left a mark on history as a mark that he achieved something great, and it inspired people to be like him. He inspired people like Napoleon and everyone else to be like him. Even fucking cunt like Hitler. That's a big difference right here. And I heavily fundamentally disagree using this example because it doesn't make sense.
And also flourished a lot of civilization in areas that previously didn't have them.
Yeah, and also Alexander
Or-
the Great was like, he was actually cool with other nations. Like sure, he was enslaving some of them, but he was actually mating with some of them, marrying other women and also giving them their own freedom to choose. Whilst Eren was just fucking killing everyone, doesn't matter. He just fucking kills everyone. So comparing him to Alexander the Great is just very insulting to anyone who studies history. I don't know. I don't like this point at all.
Cyclically, both the Ymir, past, and the child.
No, it just implies the cycle continues. It's not even probably his head that made the fucking tree grow. It could be just fucking worm or something, or maybe it's probably, the thing is, I'm pretty sure people are overthinking this scene.
Guys.
It's just fucking symbolism. I'm pretty sure Isamu just wanted to make the tree grow in that place where Eren is, just for symbolism's sake. That's it.
To end the world of Titans, and the ambiguity is
What about the dog?
entirely the point. Yes, conflict
Yeah,
is
man.
to human nature.
The dog,
Escape from
the
it,
slave,
find a
the greatest
solution
slave of all
is
time,
also just as intrinsically tied
bound to the
humanity.
whims of.
Is the dog
Jack.
parallel to Mekas? I'm sorry.
Tied to trees. The obvious differences to Ymir are also important.
It had to be
Ymir was
done.
chased by dogs, while this child
My apologies to anyone,
Ymir fell into
any
the
Mikasa
trap by
fans,
accident,
I
while
guess.
this child seeks it out. And finally,
Yo, man,
Ymir
can
was
you?
forced
He said something about the dog. I want to know what he said about the dog.
Yeah,
The
but
child
yeah, I
was
heard
accompanied
yeah,
by
when
them. Ymir fell into the tree by
he was
accident,
chased by dogs.
dramatically
Wait,
tied to trees.
I think it starts there.
The obvious differences to Ymir are also important. Ymir was chased by dogs, while this child is accompanied by them. Ymir fell into the tree by accident, while this child seeks it out. And finally, Ymir was forced and injured, while this child is physically fine, with no evidence of external influence.
I'm pretty sure this child just discovered the fucking tree. maybe the child knew that this tree exists. I don't know. It's not like I can tell, but like I'm pretty sure it's more like discovering the answer that cycle continues. Basically,
the child is literally armed and scavenging ruins. So it's something.
Yeah.
Eren was the opposite of Ymir, but both were wrong in their actions. Ymir was too submissive due to her trauma and subsequent need for connection.
What is the Ymir trauma, by the way? Can you explain me? What is her trauma? Like, he mentions it, but he never does it actually explain what he thinks. Does he think that Ymir's trauma is Stockholm Syndrome? That's what he's referring to or not?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm pretty sure the thing about Ymir, like wanting love, this issue I have with his time, like, in chapter 122, you can clearly see that Ymir used to live a normal life. But her, like, fucking... But, you know, the Eldian tribe just, killed her people and her parents, probably. So apparently this girl should have known what love is, but she also doesn't?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the fuck is the point of the Ymir sometimes, and her trauma. Is the trauma because the Eldian tribe invaded her village? Or is it what King Ymir did? Sorry, King Fritz did. You should be... Like, the points, like, he keeps saying the trauma. Briefly explain it to me, what the fuck is the trauma? Instead of, like, explaining me fucking flowers and symbolism, explain me the trauma, which seems to be quite important to her character. I don't know, man.
Horrors, while Eren's trauma and his nature pushed him to the other extreme, and neither capitulation nor genocide.
Actually, Velocious, I disagree with that. This video is about Eren, not Ymir, so I'm okay with this. I'm not explaining the trauma. The video is about Eren.
But she's linked to Eren. Like, it doesn't need. I am not asking for Ymir analysis. Just brief explanation. That's it.
Yeah, but he is trying to analyze Eren here.
Okay,
it's already 40 minutes.
Okay, fair enough, Beanie. I agree. Fuck you, man.
It's 40 minutes long already. You want him to add 10 more minutes of explaining the trauma?
I appreciate you hearing all my thoughts on why I think Eren is still a fantastic character and one of the best the medium has to offer. I'd also like to say a huge thank you.
Okay, this is a bold statement, and it was just a bold statement.
Yeah.
Read more manga, please.
Gave me permission to use
their
incredible work for this video. I'll be linking their Twitter in the description down below.
What was the final sentence? I didn't.
Please feel
like,
free to
sorry.
the best the medium has to offer.
I mean, like before the credits.
And I find that idea both beautiful and Forest will attempt their own way, whether good or bad. And I find that idea both beautiful and perfect for the story of Attack on Titan.
Perfect.
Most certainly not perfect.
Thank you to anyone who managed to stay
Okay, can we just say one thing before he finishes? I think that he's a bit circle jerking the story.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the issue when it comes to analysis. You shouldn't circle jerk. I understand that the point of the video is to explain why you find Eren Jaeger a brilliant character, okay? I understand that, but like, you don't need to circle jerk him. let go of that, you know, of that pickle.
What I got, I think someone here will agree with me. Alright, what I got from this video, from this stream that we're doing right now, and from all the discussions of AOT, all I got from it was that you need to have sex. That's it. Have sex, bro.
Go outside, stop watching Attack on Titan, read better stories, and most importantly, have sex,
10. 10? Do you agree with my point?
10? We're about to have sex, bro.
Bro. I can't say no to sex, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish this, I guess.
You hearing all my thoughts on why I think Eren is still a fantastic character and one of the best the medium has to offer.
I mean, it's basically done.
I'd also
it's
like
just
to say a huge thank you
congratulations.
Okay, if I have to give rating for the video, I'm gonna give very generous 6 out of 10 for his first try. Like,
please feel free to let me know.
The video was meant to express why he thinks the video, why Eren is good. Like, I think he did some part of the job, not convincing at all for someone that doesn't like him. The video, and Eren Jaeger, not person, but yeah, he did try. An attempt was made, and I do appreciate his effort and passion in the video, but I hope he takes this our reaction as a critique of the video, not some sort of like personal attack or anything. And that's it, like, I guess. The video was alright, I suppose. It wasn't insulting to the story, although some takes were a bit bold and circle jerking Eren's character and just Attack on Titan in general. Like, I get it, you like the story, but you don't need to suck that pickle. Okay, I get it, you like it. So yeah, anyone else has anything to say?
I do not think you want me to rate the video.
No, go on. Just don't insult the person, be nice, come on.
It had good parts.
Velocious, you being nice to people is so weird to me right now.
I'm always nice to people. People always say something. People always assume I'm like this guy that fucking calls everyone stupid. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, most of the time, people just disagree with my opinions and they start to call me bad words.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason you haven't called him anything bad right now. But I feel like if you didn't talk with him on his server before, you would have probably just taken the shit out of this.
Nah, come on. No, I don't think the video is bad. Like, even if I wanted to fight that guy or anything, I would still like say, I know what it means to make a video. I know it takes effort. So I can tell that he put a lot of effort into this. So that's why I'm gonna respect that, just because he did put effort. Like, I respect that. I disagree with a lot of this video, just as he disagrees with a lot of my video. We just have very opposing opinions. I think I'm the right one. He thinks he's probably the right one, and we're gonna leave it at that. That's it. I like.
The presentation was good. Yeah, the script was
good. Like, the narration is good, although circle jerking isn't my. I don't know. Whenever I write scripts, I would advise people, just try to go away from like saying, "Oh my god, this is literally amazing. This is the best thing ever," because this is just bold statements. And people are never gonna agree with that. Just don't say those things. Like, you can say, that's why I like this, but don't go over the top of saying like the brilliance, the genius of Eren Jaeger. Although I think Soul did a good job. He did convince me why it was the genius. But usually try to avoid those statements because it just feels like circle jerking. It's not really that good of a thing, in my opinion, at least. So yeah, anyone else has anything to say, or are we gonna go
I think I'm done. This was certainly something.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours I'm never gonna get back in my life.
Come on, it wasn't that bad or anything. Come on.
I hate each and every one of you, and good night.
Good night, Slash. Okay, good night, everyone. If anyone is still watching this. Wait, I never checked. Oh wait.
There's 3 people watching. Wait, there's someone. Wait.
There's people watching. I never.
Wait. Best JoJo part. Best JoJo village.
Oh wait, Shash was here.
Shash was here for a little bit. He left though.
Yeah, there was peoples, I suppose. Okay. I'm gonna ask if he's okay if I upload this to YouTube, or should I make this unlisted? I guess. But yeah, the video is done. So I guess thanks for watching. And Shash, if you're watching this, do not take this video personally, please. This is our opinions, and you can disagree with us just like we disagree with you, and that's it. And let's leave it at that. There's no need to be personal about this. That's all. I think your video was decent.
By the way, Shash, we also disagree with each other a lot.
Yeah, like, don't think that we're like best buddies, because me and Slash, we have this meme going on like deadlines, but we actually disagree a lot. Like, let's say you don't know this, but we used to fight a lot about Eren his story, and I said it's not gonna be canon. He said it's gonna be canon. We fight a lot between each other. Like, we're not some sort of like guys that like shit on everyone. No, we actually we're just guys that like to debate. We just enjoy the thing of having a discussion. That's it. So yeah, I guess I'm going out. Thanks for watching and good luck. So yeah, see ya.
Yeah, mate.